All right, everyone. Yes, TikTok on Twitter as well. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We're going to be talking about Tour-Cations, how to create a travel adventure for your clients. I am your host, Go Consultant Letitia M. And I'm just so happy to be here with you. If you haven't had a chance, everybody who is watching this live with me right now, if you haven't had a chance to mute your mic, go ahead and mute it. If you're having problems, let me know in the chat and I'll jump in there and mute it for you as well. So this isn't going to just be about some of the sites that we go on, some of the sites that we see. I'm gonna be bringing them to you live so you can actually see how to build this tourcation. If you get a chance, you can follow me on SLM Bookings at just about anywhere you probably are, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And for the agents out there, one of my favorite things to do besides building Tour-Cations is creating videos. So definitely look at my TikTok videos, maybe get some ideas for what you can do to kind of get that attention for those clients as well. All right, so let's jump right in it. Eventually it's going to let me do it. Okay, or it just likes the fish. Hilarious. It really, oh, I see why. I'm on the last page. Ha 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 ha. All right, there we go. That's the first page. And now here's the second one. So we're going to talk about building tours and excursions. And just so you know, when you build a vacation for your clients, check out any availability on excursions, price them out with and without those packages. Never send your client just one quote or two quotes. I usually send 3 or 4 different quotes. And as I was saying before I started recording, I come from the old school of sales. So this is going to kind of tell my age. But when I was 19, 20 years old, I went through, I used to work at Radio Shack, and I was going through the management program because they wanted me to be a store manager. Yes, at 18, 19, I had about this much responsibility on my shoulders, right? So one of the fun things that they used to tell us to do was if someone was buying something, get all the add-on stuff and just bring it to the register. I know that sounds crazy, right? So here's an example, again, telling my age. I would, if I was selling a keyboard and a person found the keyboard they love, we talked about the different keyboards, they fell in love with this one model. I would pick that model up. I would pick up a keyboard stand. I would pick up sheet music. I would pick up maybe the starter kit to getting started on lessons, right? And I would pick up batteries. Even though this thing plugged up, if it had battery ports in it as well, I would pick up the batteries and I would take everything with me to the register. And so then I would look at the customer and I would say, is that going to be all for you today? Now, if that customer looks at everything I have and says, well, I didn't want any of these things. And I'll say, well, you definitely might want to think about getting this stand so that you don't have to hold this big keyboard, because we're not talking about little keyboards, right? Or you don't have to worry about cleaning off space on a table. You may want to think about this kit if you are new to music. How are you going to get started? This is going to teach you some simple steps on how to get started with the keyboard and how to learn your notes. And here are some sheet music in case you decide that you want to start writing your own songs. And last but not least, you may decide that you're not going to be by an outlet. So here are batteries. So it's up to that customer to tell me what they want and what they don't want at that point, because I made sure I included everything in their package. And this is how you can too. So when we're talking about that, you let the customer decide. They may not even think about what's right for them at that moment. They're only thinking about that vacation. They're only thinking about the airfare or how they're getting back and forth from the hotel, but they're not thinking about the journey, the trip itself, what they're going to do. Now, excursions may come easier with cruises because they're talking about it all the time. They're showing it on TVs, in the rooms. They might have cruise directors going around trying to sign people up for different stuff, right? But when you're on different types of vacations, excursions may not come up just at the hotels. It may not come up at the airports for them. They may see pamphlets here or there, but then once they get there, what are they doing? They're going to that concierge desk. they're reaching out to the property managers, or they're walking around trying to find out what they can do while they're there. So the best thing that you can do for your client is give them a heads up by including it. And then if they want it, they'll keep it. Or it may give them ideas for something that they want a little bit more. All right, so at this time, I'm going to stop my video because we're going to take a look at one of them that does it for us, Vax Vacations. Okay, so it's not always simple. Every company, every location doesn't have it. Currently, I am building a package for someone who is leaving from the Baltimore area. And I'm pretty good with questions on the fly. So if you see something, you have a question, I do have the chat on the side of me, and I will be able to get to it as we go along. All right, and they're going to Antigua to, let's move this date a little bit. And we're going to go, July is a hot time, a good time to go, right? We're going to say they're going for 6 days, and we're going to go ahead and search it. So if you don't have Vax Vacations yet, you want to make sure that you put in a request for it. In the back office, we'll set it up and get you your access. It takes, I think, about 7 days. So when you first come in and you create your package, sometimes you may have to select air flights. Sometimes air travel, but sometimes it will automatically include it. And the next thing it's going to do is show you the different hotels. So this has been coming up a lot for me. So I'm going to go ahead and select the first one that I have here. But you also want to keep in mind what your customer's budget is before you're adding in excursions. So what I'm looking at is a couple that might be willing to spend about $8 grand. So I have some room there. As right now, I have it at $22,893 per person. I'm just selecting the airfare just so we can kind of move along. So as you can see, it didn't really show me anything, right? Well, you have a features button right here in Vax Vacations. The only thing that they automatically included for us was the transportation to and from the airport because the hotel included that. So we're going to click on features to see if they have anything else that we can add for this customer. So when you're talking about that protection plan, $99, I might go ahead and add that. I know that's not an excursion. However, that's also going to protect my commission because if they do need to change the date, at least I know that they have that protection plan that will allow them to move the date if they need to. Okay. The next thing I'm going to look at is to see what tours or excursions that they have in the area while that customer is on vacation. So this is kind of where they're starting down here. And if you notice, they're asking me to also select the date. So I never select the first date and I never select the last date. That's just not what you do. You don't want that customer coming in. What if their flight comes in late and you've selected something that they're not going to make it on time? So usually on day 2 or 3 is when I'm going to go ahead and select something for them, unless we've already spoken about it. Sometimes a customer tells you, I want to do snorkeling, I want to do this, I want to do that. That's great. But sometimes they just don't think about those things. Hold on 1 second. I'm just going to go ahead and mute everybody because we are recording, but you can unmute yourself during the Q&A section. So I'm going to go ahead and select this Mystic Sunset Cruise. And if I want to see other ones, they have some other things down here as well. But I think this is going to be romantic enough, $98. That sounds good to me. I'm going to select it for the 6th. It's going to show me that for 2 people, it's going to be $196. So I'm going to add it to my cart. Once you look at the pricing, you see that it went up to $3,091 per person, total $6,000, right? Like I said, I have some playroom here. So I have 2 choices I can make. I can try to put in another excursion for this customer, or I can kind of play around with my commission. Currently, my commission for this trip would be $579. I know I'm still within a good set for my customer for what they told me they're willing to pay. So I can either add another $100, $200 here, or like I said, I can look at another excursion, really kind of making them feel like I was the best travel agent ever, right? So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that instead. This is going to be an extra $244. I'm going to go ahead and add that to my cart. And now here is all the features that will be included in this vacation for this customer. Now, if you want to see it, how the customer is going to see it when you send it to them, where it says email/print itinerary, you're going to go ahead and click on that. You want to make sure that you update where it says Archer Group to your travel agency name. You want to make sure that your number is your name, Archer Group again, your company name. And if there's anything else that you want to say in this introduction, you add it in here. Then you want to make sure you come to the bottom and you change your ID again to your name. And if there was anything else that you wanted to say. So for example, you can say in the body of this one, I added 2 excursions that I thought would be perfect for this vacation, still coming within your budget. They're going to still see the breakdown of everything. They're going to be able to see everything that is included, because maybe they want to change the dates. They're going to be like, hey, you know what? That's not a bad idea, but can we do it on this day instead of that day? Awesome. Let me go ahead and change that for you before we close out this itinerary, right? Once you have all of this updated and you put in your customer's email, I usually also add another recipient and add my email. And usually for the subject, I put in the customer's last name, the place that they're going, and the year. Because once I get the email, I'm going to save it under my customer's file. I'll make a file for every new customer I have. And then you can email it. You can also print it. And I usually save it as a PDF file so that, again, when I'm talking to that customer, I know what's going on. And it also shows what the deposit would be and when the final payment is due. You can also, and where is it? Let me pull this back up. There it is. Save the itinerary. So let's say you're not ready to send this to the customer yet, or you have sent it to the customer, and you want to save it. I, again, usually save it by the family's name and save the itinerary. It lets me know that it was saved. And then if I ever need to come up to retrieve any of my saved itineraries, it says retrieve save itineraries right up here. I have mixed emotions about that. It depends on what vendor I'm using, Sammy. So sometimes I don't really care to hide it if I know they can't beat the prices that I have, right? But if it's with a company and it seemed like it was kind of a little high, I may do that. Sammy was asking if we should hide the name of the airlines and the resort name before sending it out in case the customer wants to do their own research. I say have at it. If you can do something better than me, go ahead. If you want to try other agencies and see if you can get it lower, go ahead. I have too many things that I'm doing and too many people I'm seeing to worry about what their emotions are going to be on that, right? But like I said, for this, I think it's perfect. Sometimes they may not have any excursions for that time or for that location. And then that's when you can use other sites that I'll show you a little bit later. But at least because you don't always know to click on some of these extra little buttons in there, I wanted to make sure that you saw where it was on Vax Vacations. So the next one we're going to take a look at. And if I'm going too fast, say, hold up, I need more information, slow down. I have no problem with that. So we're going to look at Vacation Express. Vacation Express, I believe, is one of the vendors you should be able to get, especially for some of the new people here, access to, if not instantly, I believe within 24 to 48 hours after registering. So this is not a hard one to do that. There is a feature tab that that comes up, but sometimes you have to click that feature at the bottom. Oh, other than Apple. So I do know I have gone into almost every tab. Every supplier that's in Vax, and I have seen that feature tab there. It's just that they don't always have something there. How do you get your clients and how do you win their trust? Oh man, that's a good question. You win their trust by giving them exactly what they ask for and more. Being responsive and quick to answer, not taking too long to get back to them, and showing empathy. You know, I know this is a package that's a little bit more than what you asked for. However, I know how important this event was for you. And so I decided to send this one to you as well as some of the other ones that better fit your price point. So when you show that customer empathy, when you are very responsive, you'll see that relationship will build and go a long way. But back to Vacation Express, no problem. So again, I'm looking at Argentina now. I do have a customer who is in Salt Lake City looking to go to Argentina. Her dates though are September. No, it's October. See how I just lied to you all effortlessly. No. And I'm going to extend this one out by a day. So even though they only wanted to take a 7-day, 6-night vacation, I think I need to extend this one because everywhere I've looked, it is a day travel. So they won't actually get there to the following day. So that will cut their vacation short. So I'm just going to add a day in there for that customer. And I'm going to go ahead and leave all of this alone. And I'm just going to hit continue. Antigua. All right. So here's that Royalton Antigua Resort and Casino popping up in our feed again. Now from here, you can either click on view rooms and rates on any of these, or you can just go to more info. So I'm going to view rooms and rates so I can see the different rooms. I love the fact that this is all inclusive, that almost everything that they have here is kind of luxury. I have already looked at what the rooms look like because I am working with someone on this, and it shows us how much they have available. So if you're doing a group booking or at least multiple rooms, you know what the chances are for you to get the same rooms over and over again. And with that $600 resort credit, even though this is a little bit more than what my customer wanted to pay, I'm hoping that this will be able to combat some of that cost for them. Because, you know, we'll be able to use some of that at the resort of their choice. So we're going to go ahead and pick this first one. You see, I like to move my mouse around a lot. I apologize. I'm a mouse mover. All right. So when you come in, you'll see that they've, again, already kind of selected some air flights for you based off of that, and see what I was saying, that they're not going to get to Antigua until the 2nd. So that's why I think I'm going to have them travel on the 1st since it's late at night. That should work for them because they're getting married September 30th. That's why we were looking for them to leave on the 2nd. But anyway, it's going to give you some information about the room. It's going to talk about that credit again. You're going to see your breakdown for the double occupancy. And it's going to show you that they already put in the round trip shared transfer from the hotel, from the airport to the hotel and back. And that was $72 for 2 passengers, $144. And if you decided, let's say you were working with them doing a lot of consulting, you can add an extra fee on top of your commission. So the commission is $429. If I wanted to add an additional service charge, I could do that right here. All right. But that's not the important part. The important part is down this way. So we are looking at, they have this new widget. How do I get rid of you, guy? Close dock. All right. So they have options here for that protection plan again. I always look at the ones that either say air and land, or like you saw the other one that said that it was for changes. It didn't say the word changes, but instead of full cash refund, it's if they wanted to be able to change the dates. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this one here. It's $89 per person. So that's going to be $178. And it's going to add it into my pricing. Now I get to look at these different tours that they have available, and I'll be able to change the dates. So I was looking last time, and I really like the idea of this, the reef sail and snorkel. But for this particular couple, luxury honeymoon package, boom, $0. I might have to save this itinerary for real, guys. That didn't come up last time for me. All right. So then the next one I want to do, let's see. I think I like the island safari, or you know what? First person who says it, what do you think we should add for this couple? This is their honeymoon and they're going with 6 of their friends. Catamaran. I love it. You want that commission. You saw that price. That's what that was about. So we'll go ahead and add the catamaran onto that for them. And now that is making their net due $42.87. So this is a little bit above what we had originally quoted for them when I talked to them. However, like I said, with the $600 resort credit, I'm hoping that's going to be able to combat some of that. And I didn't talk to them about insurance. And I think that's definitely important to have insurance. The other thing that they have on here that would cost nothing is electronic documents. So I'm going to go ahead and add that as well. Now, there is one other thing that Vacation Express has that not a lot of the other people have. And let's see if it's here. Reduced deposit plan. I love it. This will help your customer who may not have thousands upon thousands of dollars to put down right this moment. So it's showing that the deposit due is going to be $1,046 per person, including insurance. That's the deposit for a trip that doesn't come until September, and we're in January. So, oh, you said Mystic Sailing. We'll do Mystic Sailing next time. So I'm going to add, this is going to cost them $100. I'm sorry, $50 more because it's $25 per person to get them a reduced deposit plan. So I'm going to click that, especially since I know that they're getting me other people to book with them as well. So you see how that went down from them having to pay those thousands of dollars to paying $389. That is such a better deal to just pay $50 more, right? That's like kind of financing the trip a little bit. So now that I have everything that I want to present to this customer, I'm going to save this itinerary. I'm going to agree. It's going to show us Antigua. Man, is it taking its time? It's really calculating this, it said, right? And this is like 2 years later. And that's because I didn't pick the Mystic Sailing. That's what I get. All right. So now that I have everything set for this customer, it's showing me that the deposit would be $778. The final payment is due on September 1st for the $43.37.50. They can always contact them to make other payments, so we're not worried about that. It shows my commission amount is $454. And we were able to get them such a great deal with everything included. Now it's up to my customer to say, you know what, I like what you did, but we don't need this, or we decided, you know, to go ahead and take that off. That's a little bit much. However, it's there and it's up to them at that point. I'm still going to send them 2 or 3 other options, but I definitely want them to be able to see what a full vacation can look like for them. So awesome. Awesome. Love it. We're going to go ahead and close this out. Did anybody have any other questions about Vacation Express before we move on? Boo, boo, boo. Seem like we're good. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. So one of the next ones we're going to take a look at is, I'm going to say Avanti because I like Ashanti. So I'm going to say Avanti. This destination is a great resource, especially for international trips, I'm finding. We were looking at trips to Japan, trips to Ireland, things like that. And some of the bookings that I did, I found it just automatically kind of did it on its own. I've never actually booked with this agent before, but I was able to play around with them in December. I still ended up booking it somewhere else, but the pricing was very, very intriguing. And I kind of like how they do business. So yes, it will. And I can show you how. So this one here, when you come in after you have to sign up for this site, it's not going to be found in Archer. But you get instant access after you have confirmed your email address, I believe it is. So there's a couple of different ways that you can create your list here. You can either do it by a plan where you're putting in the different locations and then they build the vacation for you. You can also look at the hotels and tours or the destinations. So since we're talking about Asia, let's go to the destinations and look who comes up first. Asia. Well, second. Okay. Asia. So where in Asia, where would we like to look first? Someone give me a country that we can look at out of this list right here.
Maldives.
Oh, I don't see it. Wait, where are you seeing Maldives?
That's what my client's looking for is
Oh,
Maldives.
your client is looking for Maldives. I
Yep.
got you. We'll look on a different site because I don't think they have Maldives here.
Thank you.
But I believe on a different site. I know I have Maldives because I've seen it, and Maldives is on Vax Vacations as well, just so you know. So why don't, instead of Maldives, let's go to the Philippines. Or who wants to go to Thailand? Philippines, Thailand? Any one of these? All right, I'm gonna split the difference and go to Singapore.
Thailand.
Oh, Thailand. All right, I got you. Thailand. So what they do first is they're going to show you everything you need to know when visiting. So when you're thinking about building that vacation, they're going to give you some information so you know how and what to look for when you're talking to that customer. You can get on any VIP list for custom vacations for certain areas, and they will send you things as well. So they'll show you different plans and accommodations, how you can build them. So for example, if you wanted to do this type of Thailand essentials vacation, it's 3 nights in Bangkok, 2 nights in Chiang Mai, and 3 nights in, anybody can pronounce that? Phuket? Okay, I give up. But it also shows you what can be included. So it has all of these private transfers, it has the tours, and a lot of them are private tours, okay? The daily life of land and family, Phi Island tour by speedboat, and daily breakfast. So every day that they're there for the 3, 6, 8 nights, 9 days, 8 nights, 9 days, then they're going to have breakfast included. They don't include the rest of the meals because of the different tours. Some of them may have meals built into those tours as well. And then, you can see other ones. Like, look at this one, 12 nights. This one is 8 nights, 7 nights. So they definitely do a good job of showing you how to do it. What I don't like is then you have to remember kind of what this was when you come in here. And that is the only thing that kind of peeved me because I wanted it to be effortless. I just wanted it to take me there, right? So once you click on that, then you still have to select what you want. Now, it should have just taken me to the portal of what I wanted, but neither here nor there. So I'm going to go to recommended vacations. I really like the ones they had in Japan too, by the way. And what was I looking at? I see now it's not even here.
Thailand.
Oh, that's why. There we go, Thailand. And I know that this was one of them that was there. We're going to select our dates. Like I said, when I'm doing mock bookings, I always try to push it out a little bit there as well. I'm going to select 11, 2 adults, any bedding, no children. And we're going to hit submit from here. And they're going to be able to pull up some of those tours that we saw. And one of them was the essentials. So we're going to go ahead and click on that one. And it's going to show us everything that's included for this trip. So the airport transfers, a Riverside Deluxe guide, where I can change it. Any of the A's are available. So if you want to change it to any of those, you can. It's also going to show you the temple tour, 8.5 hours. It's going to show us that floating market tour. So all the tours that we saw is there. Now this says flight not included in package price, but we can get that added in. And the good thing is this is going to come up to a lot, it seems like. This has a lot of information in it. So if I click add to itinerary, it's adding everything that was checked. And now it's asking me, hey, what are your passengers' names? So I'm going to say I don't have passenger names. I'm just creating this as a test. And I'm going to update that. I can still select when my client wants to leave their home country. And I said July 5th. No, I didn't. July 2nd. There we go. And if I want to add in flights or rails or cars, if they want to have an extended stay outside of what this package is, you can do add-on services from right here. And it's showing us that just for the hotel and all of those tours, look at all of these tours and transfers, $3,111. You cannot beat that. So if you don't like their pricing for their flights, you can also go to another site to get their flights. Ask them if they have maybe airline miles that they can use or anything like that. Because what I have noticed is their flights are very expensive here. But if your customer has kind of a little bit of a big budget, then you don't have to worry about that. Oh, I'm sorry, it's $36.60. Now, let's say if I wanted to add in an agency fee, again, this is another site that allows you to add in an agency fee. So even though I'm already going to get $549 in commission, I can get more. And this is another site that does allow you to get commission on the airfare. So that's something to think about. Even though their airfare is expensive, that adds into your commission as well. You can save this quote, come back to it with a customer, and you can use these for your mock bookings as well. So I definitely suggest using this site when doing a couple of those beautiful tours for the mock bookings. Absolutely. Let me just log out. Oh, and you see that they let you brand your site just in case there's a customer in your face.
I'm gonna have PM
Love
waiting
that,
outside
right?
by my front door.
And here you are. So you have that link. So again, this is a great resource. They also let you add how you want to be paid. So they do, because this is an independent, this is not through Archer. You can get paid through your bank account, through PayPal, and then I know they have one other way of paying you as well. Getting paid through, I believe it was PayPal and something else, you get it faster than through your bank account. Just kind of little FYI there. But again, this is a beautiful site to use. And they also, I had a problem with a booking. So I did reach out to them and they were able to send me an email with the information that I requested. And they put it into my account. So if I wanted to go ahead and continue
you didn't get the money.
I had access to it. There is someone's mic who is unmuted. and we can hear your background, hun. So I'm going to go ahead and mute again. There we go. All right. So what's next? Oh, rail bookers, travel destinations with luxury railways. They have tours, hotels, meals, and more. I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen this site, but the first time I saw it, I just kind of fell in love. And the reason I fell in love was tours like this. Switzerland, you get to go on some of these beautiful luxury trains that take you through different countrysides and cities, and they include tours. So I thinking about doing one for myself, not even thinking about a customer. So it kind of tickles me that I haven't even thought about recommending this to a customer yet, because I want to do it myself. So you can look by destinations, vacation types, get out my face. And so the vacation types are really cool because you can look at famous trains, Alaskan trains, once in a lifetime, the Alps. If you have a culinary person and they're a foodie and they want to take those trips, a first time to Europe, luxury rail. The luxury rail is beautiful, by the way. That's where I think I'm going to live the rest of my life out, because they have rooms that look like this. Look at this. Wait, let me show you. Which one is my favorite? I mean, just, you know, they already have my drink in their hand. I'm doing this all wrong, guys. I was supposed to be doing this from there, not from the comfort of my home. They're not cheap for some of the luxury ones. As you saw, there was some that were $1,200, $1,400, but the luxury ones are the ones that's going to cost you. They're going to cost you because this is your private room. Look at your private room. Don't you see yourself there right now? Come on, guys. Let's all just jump in. Oh my goodness. This is where you're living the rest of your life, right? You can run your travel agency by train, I'm assuming. So the cool thing about this kind of trip is this one is 10 days. You're going to visit 3 countries and 4 destinations in those countries. They have the breakdown here, and you can open it up and see the details. So the cool thing about this is you go by train, you reach a destination, and then you sleep in a hotel. And you get to choose the hotel based off the list that they have. And you do it again. So if you're going to be in Venice, it says day 2. So then you're in a different hotel. And look at the luxury that you get along the way. If you want to see it just all in once, here is what's included. It has the rail, 1 night aboard the train itself. And then you have another seat for the other train that's going to take you through the cities. You have 3 nights in Venice, 2 nights in St. Mortis. That's what I'm going to say. 2 nights in Zermatt, and a day trip. And I'm not even going to bother to blotch that up. You have a small group tour and another walking tour. And it's also letting you know some of the stops along the way and some of the sites that you'll be seeing while you're doing that. So how you do that is it does have an easy quote, but the easy quote is going to get you to their customer service who does the booking for you. So when you put in the easy quote, you want to let them know that you're a travel agent so that you're just looking for the information. So, also, you can do the trip in reverse. So if you wanted to fly into London and then go the straight way, or if you wanted to reverse it and come to Zermatt and end in London, let's say you wanted to do a couple more days in London, you can tell them that you're interested in the reverse trip. So you will let them know where you're leaving from the day, if your day is flexible. So let's just go ahead and put in some stuff. Man, it looks like I've been here before, right? I'm going to say it's flexible. And I'm going to continue. So then the next thing they're going to ask you is how many people and your contact information. But look, I am a travel agent advisor. So if you put in that you're a travel advisor and you submit the quote, they will call you and then they will send you a request for that customer so that you can further negotiate it. Now, let's say you wanted to get some other information because you wanted to be able to advertise these. Well, they have some flyers here for you. They also have some brochures. They have promotions. This one, obviously, you don't want to use because this one expires on the 13th of January. However, they do have something for us. Look at this. Travel advisor reduced rate. Now you see why I'm going to be living my life on the road. 20% off for travel advisors and up to 3 travel companions. You can book a trip from today or to 2 years in advance. And it shows you the different ones you can do. So love it, love it. You like it, I love it. They also have some customizable flyers. So the good thing about the customizable flyer is almost nothing for you to do, but kind of add your information. So if you wanted to start talking about these rails, come in here, click on it. It already has 4 per page. And then you can put in your information. And I think this one, yep, this one allows me to do it. Nope, this one doesn't have the next line. So this particular flyer only has 2 lines. Some of the flyers do have 3 lines. So I was able to put in my name, my email address, my name, my business name, and then I did the website and phone number next to each other. So this is really cool. And then when you want to save it, you just download and make sure you download with changes. And boom, you can start uploading this wherever you want to, right? And you can do that with any of these. They have some maps that kind of show you the journeys that these different trains take. So then when someone is thinking about it and they're not sure where that European cruise ports map takes them through, then you can pull that up and show them. And here are some more of those brochures I was talking about, that if you have a client that's really serious about it, you can download the brochure and send it to them. And the brochures are really beautiful. The only thing I didn't like about it, now remember we were talking about, well, what if they decide, this is not on the Archer website, no. What if they decide they want to book it themselves? Well, then they run into that problem because their number is at the bottom of this, not yours. So that's the only thing I'm hesitant about doing with the brochure, but I will probably just upload this to like Canva or something and put a blue block over it. This is what I would take my time to kind of update. So let's see. I will also put this one in here for you guys. And you would just go to advisor login and set up your account. All right. Anybody have any questions about rail bookers? Rail bookers. They don't want me to do their slogan. I mean, their catchphrases, because, you know. Awesome. All right. So the next one we want to look at is one of my favorites, Exotica. I've actually just booked one for Exotica. Woo woo. I'm so excited. I just found out about this again, late December. Jumped on it as soon as I could and got my first booking for Exotica. They're similar to rail bookers in a way that this is a planned vacation. We cannot really kind of alter it. You can extend some things, you can add more excursions to it, but these are kind of like set in stone things. So now whoever answers first, are we going to Africa, the Americas, Asia, Europe, or Oceania?
Definitely Africa.
Definitely Africa, I was told. All right, so in Africa, we have Kenya, Botswana, Egypt. I want to see, okay, I'm going to pick Egypt only because it has 18 plans. So we can kind of get a good view of those. Whereas some of them only have 2. Tanzania has 8. Yeah, I'm going to go with Egypt. Okay. So definitely Africa, love it. So you can see here, their site has some things that's 45, 50, and 60% off. I think one of the plans I did was 70% off. These trips are expensive. So when you have these deals, this is what you want to be pushing out there right now. You want to push these because these are such great deals right now. When they go back up, it's going to be harder to sell. I think I saw one that was like 20 look, 17,500. And it's because it's 29 days for this one, right? These are amazing, amazing deals. This one is a 9-day. It has the Great Pyramids and it has that Nile cruise that's going to be built into it. Look at all of these places it's going, and it's for $12.99. However, that says from $12.99. I'm going to show you why. Do not tell your customer these prices until you get all of your checks and balances. So my customer is going to be leaving from Washington, D.C. Look at the change already, $17.99. Another thing is they only have these cities available. Okay. So if your customer is not located in or near one of these cities, you have to talk about how you're going to get them either there, because you can do land only, and then just set up a flight to the start of their trip, or to one of these other connecting flights to get them to where they're going. All right. So again, I'm going to stick with Washington, D.C. So this one has all of these trip highlights included here for us. The cool thing is you can scroll down and you can open up one and it'll open up all of them. Okay. Or you can come straight down and look at the itinerary as a whole. All right. But we're going to go up a little bit because I love seeing the pictures. I use these pictures. I just right click, save image, and I use these pictures when I make my flyers. So for day 2 in Cairo, you can see that these are optional. So these 2 are not included, but never fear, because the next day when they are going to see the Great Pyramids, that tour is included. When they're in Luxor, that is included. This is optional. When they are in Edith, no. Oh, I'm not even going to push that up. So I'm going to say Valley of the Kings. That tour is included. The same thing when they're taking the next trip. So as you can see, every day that they're out, they have a tour that's included. And sometimes they'll have some things that's optional. It was just that first day, but that was just because, you're kind of getting settled in. So do you want to just settle in and see, the tour, tour the city yourself, or do you want to take one of these optional other excursions we have available for you? And they show you some recommended departure dates to kind of stay within your time, because you can see that also fluctuates the pricing. So let's go ahead and make it easier on my brain. And let's pick the November one because it's $17.99. We're going to click on reserve. And now they're going to start looking for our flights from DC to Africa, to Egypt, so that we can start our beautiful vacation that they've already planned every detail out for us. The reason I'm taking you this far, because I want you to see how those options work as well. And this, now Exotica can pay you through Archer. You still register outside of Archer, but it does pay through Archer. And look, the price has already changed again, and they gave me a notice for that. So we're saving $5,400. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And they're showing us that this is the cheapest and this is the fastest. I don't care about an extra 20 minutes, right? I'm going to go with the cheapest. So I'm going to keep it there. This is included, the 4-night cruise. You can do a extra 3 nights for $800. The one bed is included. You can also do 2 beds. But if you wanted to do 2 individual rooms for those passengers, it's at $800. And these are the optional trips. So it's tours, 176 per person, 287.68. So there might be some other ones they want to go ahead and add. So you get all of this done before you leave this area at all. Look, you haven't even left this area. We're just talking about those add-ons. The cool part about this site is for every package they sell, that premium care is built in. So you don't have to worry about adding on insurance. It's already in every package that they do. So this customer is going to be covered in case there is anything that happens. If their flights are delayed, if they need to change the dates, You don't lose that commission. It's built in for you. All right. So then when you go to continue, that's when you're going to start your actual booking process. They want that customer to pay 60% of that plan before it's booked. Let me tell you why. I planned this for November, right? Once that customer pays that 60%, 30 days later, I get 60% of my commission. That's right. I do not have to wait for this customer to go on this trip to get my commission. I will receive in 30 days from the date that they make their payment. So this is another reason why I appreciate this site, because I like getting paid earlier than later, right? So this is a really great site for you guys to kind of play around with. And I think you should, because you can make some really great mock bookings from this. The only thing is you can't save it, but it's already kind of set in stone. This deal isn't going anywhere. Once the deal is gone, though, unfortunately, they got to go to that $8,998. So you want them to try to jump on it as soon as possible. Any questions about Exotica? All right, closing them out. Now, Viator and Get Your Guide. Get Your Guide is new to me. I just found it today, thanks to Ursula from my team. Love that she asked me questions about it. And I was like, I don't know. And I looked it up and I was like, well, thank you. So Viator is a travel agent site where we can book tours and excursions exclusively, right? But we don't have to book it. Our customers can. You just share your link with your clients and they can come and book it. Another thing that you can do, you can look by holiday, you can look by state. So I did, like, Valentine's Day is coming up. So I did that. I wanted to see anybody who had some good Valentine's Day deals. And I found a couple as I was scrolling through here. So then you would just check to see if that person is taking a trip to Paris, or you can just put Paris in here, right? Or Daytona Beach. Look at that. I don't know when I searched Daytona Beach, but there it is. And so now I can see this person's going to be in Daytona Beach. Here are some of the things that's going on in Daytona Beach. So I can click on one of the things that I see here, and I can share this with my client because they can book it for themselves. You do not need to book it for your clients. If you have a website, social media, you can put your agent link. Let me go back to the beginning. And you can take your agent link and put it there. And then that way, anytime somebody clicks it, even, you know how we say we can earn money while we sleep, this is one of the ways we can do that, because they can go and book things for themselves. Also, as an agent, let me see, Resource Center. I don't see it. Get started. Let me see. Okay. They have flyers that you can download for some of those guides. They have different programs that you can do as well. And you can also monetize your websites with widgets. So you can actually have a widget of their site on your site, and people can click it directly. So for example, on my site, if you scroll down to the bottom here, this is Viator right here. This is some of the tours that I have selected, and somebody can come and say, oh, I'm going to be in Hollywood. You know what? I don't mind doing that sightseeing tour. They can click on it. Look, your agent, Letitia M. So if they book this tour, I'm going to get commission from it. And I didn't even talk to them about it, right? They just happen to see it on my website. And I also have a drop down link for it as well. Not a drop down, I'm sorry, where it says tours. They can click on tours and it will take them again to my site. So I have it embedded where they can see certain things, and I have a link where I'll just take them here and they can do their own search as well. So Viator is definitely a great resource to have, because you have all of that availability to kind of make that money in your sleep. You can still book for your client if you want to, but it's not necessary. You should just let them book for themselves. They might find more things when they do that. And they have a great plan with most of their tours are reserved now and pay later options. So this is great. And you got to watch my website class, Ashanti, but I use Wix. All right, so get your guide. Like I said, this was new to me. And I'm so thankful. She was just asking me questions and I came and looked at it and was like, what? It works just like Viator. It really works just like them. They have some also good tools. They have where you can do links, again, activity widgets or just the city or availability widgets. And when you create the availability widget, this is what it looks like. So you can have a couple of these on your site, or you can have like that page of widgets that you saw that I had. And so see how they have 3 as the example, but you can add more. So even when I did 6, I like what they kind of did with 6. They put 4 at the top and then had 2 bigger ones. I try not to be boring. They have 2 bigger ones here. So, and if you don't have your own site, but you do have social media, they still have the link that you can add as well to either embed on your site or just to grab a link. See, it says share link. So you can click on that and boom, here is your customizable link. I haven't even put that up there yet because I literally signed up for this like 7 a.m. But it, like I said, it works just like Viator, where I can put in Valentine's Day, I can put in an occasion, and look from the 6th through the, well, maybe not January. All right, there we go. Through the 19th, because people, since Valentine's Day falls through the week, people might celebrate differently, right? And then it's going to show me some things in different areas that's doing things for Valentine's Day. So if that person is maybe planning a mini trip, you can maybe talk them into a 2 or 3 day trip somewhere and then throw in, you know, oh, go to Singapore and hey, here is some Marina Bay Sands observation deck e-tickets for $17.87 per person. Boom, done and done. You better work on it, Ashanti. Watch my video. It'll make you work on it. So you definitely have some great options here. If you know where you're going and you want to search by city, you can. And you can see some of the amazing things that different cities have to offer. And as you can see, they have everything. I think this site offers things a little bit less price than Viator. So if you have that customer who you know is trying to ball on a budget, this might be a better idea when booking some of those side tours if you can't get it built into their plan, or if maybe some of those are a little bit more expensive. So these are definitely some things to think about. So you have to put in your payment detail, not your payment details. Yeah, your payment details. So you can either do bank transfer or PayPal. And I think it was one other way as well. I forgot. But once you put this in here, they said that PayPal will pay you faster. It's just a suggestion. If you don't have PayPal, maybe you should get it. But if you don't mind the bank transfer, they will not, what did I say? They will not send you the payment until you've made at least $50 in commissions. But with PayPal, every time they do their payout, I think it's twice a month, you automatically receive it, even if it was only $12. So that was the catch, I think, with the bank transfers, is that they only do it once a month. And they only do it if you have at least $50 in commissions. All right. I hope that this has been kind of helpful for you guys. What questions do you have? If you want to unmute yourself to ask those questions, now is the time. You put your agency name, but you use Archer's IATA number. You're definitely welcome. Sammy, I just saw who it was. Sammy. Me and Sammy had a meeting earlier this week. So that's my friend now. She's my
I
friend.
know, and you're so wonderful. Like the way you explain everything, you make it possible for the ones that are starting like me. You make
Oh.
everything so seamless. I like you're such an inspiration, honestly.
Oh, I'm so glad you feel that way, hun. I definitely, thank you, Ashanti. I definitely want to make sure that you guys get the knowledge that you need. And, you know, when I'm available, I love meeting one-on-ones. Even if I'm not your mentor, I have no problem with it. What is the best site for a cruise trip? 7+. It depends on what type of trip they're looking for. Honestly, if you are looking for one of those kind of adventure things, I find that Vacation Express can work a little bit more with different budgets. Vax can sometimes be a little bit high, but may go places that Vacation Express doesn't. But as you can see, Exotica is my best friend. Oh, that was the Archer number that I put in there for you. That 85824840. Wait, I think I missed it up. Hold on. I think I'm missing an addition. Let me see. 05824840. Oh no, I did. Yeah. So that's their number. Connect with me on Facebook. There are times I also sit on a board of a nonprofit. So there are times that I am not available. But my time is your time. So I definitely have no problem with it. If I don't see your connection right away, you know how it is. If we're not friends, it'll be in that other one. So I will connect with you as soon as I see it, and then we can work out days and times.
Now on Facebook, are you just under Letitia M on there?
Letitia McDougal, but if you start typing Letitia M, you should see a picture of me and my husband. All right, no other questions? You guys got this? Y'all must have been some serious note takers in school, I'm telling you. I'm going to
you for
stop the
your time.
recording, but I'm going to still be here for a bit.
Thank you.
No problem.